Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto the dead moon? Dead. Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck. So whatever you're holding on to right there, that's your old life. You gotta let that go. Because your new life is entirely in my hands. I'm just trying to give you a chance at rebirth. I just love that last part. Gives me chills every time.
Callisto Protocol. It's out. It's by the creator of the original Dead Space. So Glen Schofield is back in the survival horror genre, and I really enjoyed this game. It's not perfect. It's not like a 10 out of 10 by any means, but for what it is, I think it's really cool. It's probably really hard to live up to the original Dead Space. It doesn't really like meet that same level that the original Dead Space did in 2008, but it's such a hard measure to live up to. I don't know if it's necessarily fair to compare it, but obviously like the comparisons are going to be made. There are a lot of similarities to the original Dead Space. Obviously the genre, you're back to space, sci-fi, mutated alien enemies. They're not necromorphs, there's something else, but yeah, a lot of the same kind of story beats, and just the general kind of aesthetic is obviously very similar to Dead Space. There's a grip system, which is a lot like, obviously very similar to the kinesis stasis from Dead Space. The third person over the shoulder camera, stomping on enemies to get items and things like that. There's just a lot of very similar mechanics, and also kind of story beats as well. Like I didn't really expect it coming in, but as you play through the game, there is a lot of, not giving too many spoilers away, but like there's an overarching conspiracy of these weirdos that really harkens back to a lot of the kind of Unitarians, whatever they're called, from Dead Space 1 and 2, and Dead Space 3 as well. So yeah, I mean, it is obviously like going to draw a lot of very similar comparisons to Dead Space. I think he really tried to set it apart from Dead Space is with the combat. It isn't like Dead Space is like keeping your distance and managing the enemies, with the dismemberment. Callisto Protocol is very much about being aggressive and getting in the enemy's face and trying to take them out as quickly as you possibly can. Also, obviously, introduces the dodge mechanic. So you hold in the stick left and right and trying to sort of get the timing down for enemies, which takes a little bit getting used to at the start, but it is quite like satisfying once you master that system, and once you kind of get good at it and you can weave and dodge and get perfect counters on them. It's a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of people saying like big criticism of the game is kind of like, okay, you're just going through like area to area with you're not really doing much, and then you're just fighting a lot of enemies and sort of rinse and repeat. And it is a fair criticism. Like there isn't a huge amount of variety. even within the enemies themselves, there's like only a very small amount of different sort of enemy types that you meet, and you probably find them all pretty quickly. And that's other than like the sort of boss characters, there's a sort of a one sort of like repeated sort of semi boss that you get a couple of times, and then a final boss at the end, and not much, not a huge amount of variety in between them. I'd say the positives are it has got like a very good cast. It's Josh Duhamel from Transformers is the main guy. Karen Fukuhara from The Boys. Kimiko is like the secondary character that you meet, and then it's Sam Witwer is the primary sort of antagonist. So he's been in everything: Darth Maul and Star Killer and Days Gone, and you've seen him all over the place. And yeah, they all give pretty good performances with what there is of the plot. It's about 8 to 10 hours I found roughly from start to finish. Another positive is like the graphics. It looks really, really good running on Unreal Engine 4. It's probably like the last like bastion of like amazing like graphics to be pushed out from that engine. Like the facial animations, the character models, and the environments. Like once you get out of the prison, there's a section where you actually step out onto the planet, and it's super atmospheric. Like it is a really like stunning sort of like a level that you get to there where it's really impressive you just want to kind of like look around every single part of the environment. It is a lot of like dark corridors and stuff like that after that, but in terms of like atmosphere, like you would expect from the guy that made Dead Space, like it really it gets you in it. It's immersive, and you really feel like you're in the character's shoes. Like it's very good at setting that kind of tone through the environmental effects and the sound design. Like the enemies are like nightmarish on like several levels. It does make you very tense as you're playing through it, as you probably that's what you'd expect from a survival horror game. It's got a pretty good weapon upgrade system as well. Again, like saying this quite a lot, but somewhat similar to Dead Space. You find it's like kiosks, I guess, like throughout. You can upgrade like your melee weapon, the different guns that you get. So there is gunplay like introduced more throughout sort of the late stages of the game. It's not just bashing mutant zombies. It's you can have switch between like a primary and a secondary weapon as well, which you can again combo with your melee. So if you hit them at a certain time and then hit a shot, it does more damage. They do like a mutation level where the enemies will get stronger if you don't quickly take them out, so that does prioritize like being aggressive and being efficient with your shots as well. But yeah, like you say, like I did enjoy it. Again, it's not like I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10 by any stretch, but if you are a fan of survival horror, if you like Dead Space, obviously like you probably will enjoy this. Like it's a well crafted experience from start to finish. Like Schofield knows what he's doing. Like he obviously has a lot of experience in this area. It's kind of an interesting like production. It's like a Korean publishing company and his own development studio, striking distance now. I do wonder if they had maybe a bigger, more well known publisher like behind them. If they maybe could have like been a bit more could have pushed it out a bit more and been like a kind of like a larger scope for it, because it is a very kind of like I guess focused experience. Like it doesn't go anywhere like you haven't really seen before in other similar games, where I wonder like if they do like another one, they could maybe sort of go a bit bigger and do some different kind of things with it that they didn't really do in this one. It's like the criticisms, like I said before, are that there isn't like a huge like variety of what you're doing throughout it. It is like, you know, a go here, get this, kill these people, move forward, you know, kill more, and then it does cycle a little bit. Like the game's not massively long, so you don't. It's not. I didn't find it like tedious by any stretch, but and it was always sort of in a variety in the environments as you played through it. I didn't like get like burnt out on it, but it would have been nice maybe to have like a slightly longer game, and yeah, to have it maybe broken up a bit more with some different kind of, you know, puzzle solving, and you know, just something in between, you know, the smashing the zombies and not zombies, like alien mutants, whatever, in between. But yeah, I would recommend it. Like I say, if you are a fan of the genre, if you are a fan of Dead Space, if you've been looking forward to it, um, if you're not like 100% sold, if you're not sure, and maybe not your kind of thing, um, like wait for it to come down in price. Like wait for it till it's on sale. Then definitely try it. Like if you're curious, I would still suggest like at some point picking it up and seeing what it's about. Like again, it is like a technical, yeah, really like impressive technically in terms of the graphics and the environments. I do, like I said, I do think it's worth a playthrough for sure. But yeah, that's all I really had to say about it. I hope they do a sequel. Like, hopefully, I don't know, if they have plans to. It does kind of, again, I don't want to spoil too much, but it does end on a sort of a cliffhanger. It's a similar kind of, again, a similar kind of Dead Space ending where it's like, oh shit. So they definitely leave the door open for more. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Like I say, if they do another one, I would like to see them be a bit more adventurous in terms of the design and just sort of breaking it up a bit more than what they did in this one. If you guys liked it, if you didn't like it, if you've got any other comments, leave them below. And I'll see you next time. Peace.